My name is Janet Kuypers, and I'm waiting for this accent. I'm a Chicagoan, and I have lived here for maybe 8 months, something to that effect. And I ran a poetry open mic in Chicago for a long time, so I feel very comfortable with stuff. And I also did podcasts and the like with it, which is why I have all this camera stuff, and I kind of go crazy with that. So, and this is my show. And the music in the background is from Laurie Anderson that you will eventually hear. So, just so you know. I'm going to start off with a few haikus for people who have copies of the chapter. You would see them as well. The police code was played out to warn everyone. Haiku in progress. Perfect for a woman. Doctors found a gene to extend life. They plan to use for anti-aging cream. You don't want to make your lives longer. You want to make them look thinner while you're younger while you can. Falling from the sky, I can only hope I'll be landing on my feet. A civil war is raging in me, and I want a revolution. See her do a flip, walk the tightrope. This is the greatest show on earth.
You said that Earth, maybe Earth is a topiary.
And she said, if the definition of a topiary is that it's 2/3 water, and a topiary is supposed to have worms traveling around it and flies swarming in the air, then yes, Earth is a topiary.
Then he said, but what if Earth is a topiary, and it's a centerpiece at a wedding table, and the candles are stars, he said.
And thinking of all the candles reflected in the eyes of the guests at the table, she said, and the guests at the table are the galaxies, and at the end of the night, all the guests leave, and it's like all the galaxies are traveling away at faster and faster speeds. When I was young, I never had any lessons on how to become a woman. No one explained to me the blood you have to deal with every month, or the potential pain. Like there are little people inside you, like little elves, and they're just kicking the insides of you. No one explained to me that this is the beauty of being a woman. I thought women had enough to fight against to begin with. So one day I noticed while reading a book that there was blood on my underwear. So I guess the process had started for me. So I told my mom what I saw, and she said she'd go buy some pads right away. And that was all the talking we did about it. I never got to talk about the birds and the bees. Because when the world seems to go silent, just when you need it screaming loud and clear, you listen to the silence throughout life and just hope that you'll know what to do on this blindfolded battle on becoming a woman. I see the woman in the picture. I see their depiction of beauty, of something that couldn't work, that can't work. I see the sepia toning, but I also see the dependency. I also see the degradation. My mind has been cluttered. I can't see the woman. I see the adornments of beauty, the pretentious, impractical ways she's been made to be seen and not heard. She was forced with an image And it must be a shame, because now I've been tainted with the knowledge of society, with the knowledge of society's motives. And now I can't even see the beauty. I can only see the oppression.
Oh, it's not like that anymore.
They say, as I wipe the makeup off my eyelids and wonder who I'm trying to impress. There are some theorists that say that women need to be able to look up to a man in order to feel complete. These theorists would say that a woman cannot be president, at least not on a personal level. I mean, think of it. Here is a woman, the most important person on earth, and she would never know of anyone who had more power than her. How could she look up to any man? How could she admire any man? How could she respect any man? And, you know, I can kind of see the point. I mean, how can you love someone you don't respect? I mean, I want someone in my life that can teach me something, that can help me to grow. And if I'm the most powerful person on earth, I'd probably think that no one could teach me anything. But the only thing I could think in response to this theory is that, why is it that men who are presidents of the United States of America, why do they find themselves unhappy with their boring, unequal, supportive wives? I mean, why are men content with inferior women, but women aren't content with inferior men? Have you ever noticed that the air isn't normal air in an airplane? I mean, there's just something about the air in a cabin that's different. It's got a smell to it. That's the only way I can think to describe it. The smell of all these people, maybe not going places, but running away, getting away as fast as they can. Once, I was on a flight back from DC, and a flight attendant, magazine sacks were in her hand, Time, Newsweek, Business Week. I saw her, and I stopped her, asking her what magazine she had. And she looked at me and she said, "Oh, these magazines are for men." This is a true story. So I asked her again, "What magazines do you have?" I had already read Time, so I took Newsweek. This is the last one for you guys. This one is called, "Oh, She Was a Woman." She was a woman who thought too much. She was a woman who accomplished everything she set out to. She was a woman who wore a crown of thorns. She was a woman who was punished for things she had not done. She was a woman who was strong, who was beautiful, who was beaten down, and she got angry. She was a woman who would walk into a coworker's office, stand on the desk, and do the twist just to relieve corporate boredom. She was a woman who worked 18-hour days because she was a woman whose brain was always on. She was a woman who fought for her rights, and she was a woman who should not have been born. She was a woman who wrote poetry. She was a woman who believed in nothing but herself. And trust me, she deserved more. She was a woman who would jump on hotel beds every time she traveled and booked a room because it was hers, because she could. She was a woman who belched out loud. She laughed too hard, she swore too much, and she grew up too fast. She was a woman who never lost control. She planned everything. She demanded perfection, and she always had the answers. She was a woman who raised the pitch of her voice when she was asking for something. She was a woman who never played drinking games because she never needed an excuse to drink. Because she would drink most men under the table. She loved dirty jokes and she seldom crossed her legs. She was a woman who wanted to feel alive. She was a woman who could not eat something she could not kill. She wrote letters to the editor, and when that wasn't enough, she became an editor because she liked making waves. Because she was a woman who knew all too well that you only had one life to live. Don't do something because it's expected of you. Do it because you are a woman who knows what's right. That golden ring is almost in your grasp. You've got the brains, and believe it or not, you've got the brawn. So don't let anything stand in your way. Nobody, well, I'll do it in the man's voice.
We thought it was perfect to do, might as well, right? We thought it was perfect to have the flapper dress because that's indicative of a time when women gained the right to vote. And it was a time when women said, I'm going to do something because I want to do it. And not just because of a man, I just thought, because it would be perfect to wear. And everybody can look at it moving around when I do the twist on the stage during the public morning.
Thank you, thank you.
July 2nd, you're going to get a different theme with the same person who will be different by that time and probably have a different dress. Because a lot of people complain about politics, religion and things like that. The bottom line is poets have within them the panacea in their harmonies and in their artistic expression.